There is something about New Jersey in the 1970s that people who lived through it cannot forget. The shore summers, the diners at midnight, the feeling of being squeezed between two great cities while having an identity entirely its own. If someone grew up there, they know exactly what made that decade so distinctive. This was a time when Springsteen was playing bars in Asbury Park before becoming the voice of working-class America. The Meadowlands was rising from the swamps. Atlantic City was transforming from a faded resort town into a gambling destination. And New Jersey was proving it was far more than the butt of jokes from New Yorkers. This was the decade that gave us Born to Run, legalized casino gambling, the opening of Giant Stadium, and a suburban lifestyle that defined the American dream for millions. The turnpike might have smelled, but the diners served the best coffee in America. Let's walk through what daily life actually felt like during that unforgettable decade. Some of this might bring back memories. Some of it might explain why people from Jersey defended their state so fiercely. Let's step into that world. Homes in New Jersey in the 1970s reflected the suburban expansion that had transformed the state since the 1950s. The split-level house was everywhere, that distinctive design with the front door opening to a landing between floors. These homes filled developments across Bergen County, Morris County, and Middlesex County. Inside, the aesthetic matched the rest of America. Harvest Gold appliances in the kitchen, avocado green bathroom fixtures, shag carpeting in colors ranging from burnt orange to deep brown, wood paneling covered basement walls, creating finished rec rooms where families gathered. These basements were essential to New Jersey living. They had the television, the bar cart, the ping pong table. Kids would spend entire rainy days down there. The formal living room upstairs was for guests and holidays only. Plastic covered the good furniture to keep it pristine. Air conditioning was becoming standard, a necessity during humid New Jersey summers when temperatures climbed and the air sat heavy. Window units hummed throughout neighborhoods. Central air was a luxury that newer homes featured. The backyard was the center of summer life. Above-ground pools appeared in yards across the state, the distinctive round pools with their aluminum walls and vinyl liners. Kids would spend entire days in those pools, climbing out only for lunch. Barbecue grills saw constant use. The smell of charcoal and burgers drifted through suburban neighborhoods on summer evenings. The car defined New Jersey life perhaps more than anywhere else in America. The state was built around highways. The Garden State Parkway ran north to south, connecting the suburbs to the shore. The New Jersey Turnpike was the main artery, infamous for its industrial stretch near Newark and Elizabeth, where refineries and factories lined the road. The smell was distinctive and unavoidable, but that turnpike moved people efficiently between New York and Philadelphia. Rest stops named after famous New Jerseyans became landmarks. Families knew exactly which rest stop had the best Howard Johnsons. The 1973 oil crisis hit New Jersey hard. A car-dependent state suddenly faced gas lines stretching for blocks. Odd and even rationing based on license plates meant planning when to fill up. The big American sedans that dominated driveways were gas guzzlers. Smaller Japanese imports started appearing as people sought fuel efficiency. Before we continue with the music and culture that defined the decade, if you are enjoying this look back at how people really lived and want to explore more decades and places, consider subscribing. There are so many more stories about how Americans built the life we know today. The music coming out of New Jersey in the 1970s was raw, honest, and unforgettable. Bruce Springsteen emerged from the bar scene in Asbury Park to become one of the most important artists of the decade. Born to Run, released in 1975, captured something essential about New Jersey, about working-class dreams and the desire to escape while loving where you came from. The Stone Pony in Asbury Park became legendary. Springsteen and the E Street Band played there regularly. Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes were part of the same scene. The Jersey Shore sound combined rock and roll with rhythm and blues and a blue-collar sensibility. Musicians played in clubs along the shore, developing their sound before audiences who demanded authenticity. Asbury Park itself was complicated. The boardwalk had seen better days. Race riots in 1970 had damaged the town, but the music scene thrived despite the urban decay. The Jersey Shore was central to the state's identity. Every summer, families would pack up and head down the parkway. Seaside Heights had the boardwalk, the rides, the games. Point Pleasant had Jenkinson's. Wildwood had the massive beach and the doo-wop motels. Long Beach Island attracted families seeking quieter stretches of sand. The ritual was the same across the state. Leave early to beat traffic, spend the day on the beach, walk the boardwalk at night, eating saltwater taffy and playing skee ball. The shore was democratic. Factory workers and executives shared the same beaches. Atlantic City was fading through most of the decade. The grand old hotels were crumbling. The boardwalk felt tired. But in 1976, New Jersey voters approved casino gambling and everything changed. Resorts International opened in 1978, the first legal casino outside Nevada. Suddenly, Atlantic City was being reborn, though the transformation would take years and displace many longtime residents. Diners were the soul of New Jersey. No other state had anything quite like them. These chrome and neon establishments served food 24 hours a day. The menu was enormous, with laminated pages offering everything from Greek dishes to Italian specialties to classic American breakfasts. Disco fries, those French fries smothered in gravy and melted cheese, were a New Jersey invention. Coffee came in ceramic mugs and was refilled constantly. People went to diners after proms, after concerts, after late shifts. The waitresses knew the regulars and their orders. Shopping meant the mall, and New Jersey had some of the best. Garden State Plaza in Paramus, Woodbridge Center, Willowbrook. These enclosed malls were destinations, not just shopping centers. Blue laws meant most Bergen County stores were closed on Sundays. It was a quirk that frustrated some and pleased others who wanted one guaranteed quiet day. The economy in New Jersey in the 1970s was shifting. Manufacturing still employed thousands, but factories were beginning to close or relocate. The pharmaceutical industry remained strong, with companies like Johnson & Johnson headquartered in New Brunswick. Port Newark handled massive cargo shipments, but the industrial jobs that had built middle-class prosperity were becoming less secure. Newark itself struggled throughout the decade. The 1967 riots had left scars. White flight to the suburbs accelerated. The city that had been a proud industrial center faced rising crime and declining population. Other urban areas like Camden and Trenton faced similar challenges. What defined New Jersey in the 1970s was resilience and identity. This was a state that took pride in being underestimated. The jokes about exits on the turnpike and industrial smells missed what residents knew. The beaches were beautiful. The diners were unmatched. The music was authentic. The people were direct and loyal. The decade had its challenges with urban decay, economic uncertainty, and the energy crisis. But it also had summer nights at the shore, Springsteen on the radio, and a fierce pride in being from Jersey. For those who grew up there in the 1970s, the memories remain vivid. The smell of the ocean mixing with boardwalk food, the sound of that Fender guitar, the taste of diner coffee at 2 in the morning. It was a specific time and place that shaped everyone who lived it. For those with memories of this distinctive era in the Garden State, there is always more history to explore.